Hello everyone, my name is Carrie Logan, and today I'm going to support you in better understanding human consciousness. So today I want to explain in simple terms the mechanics of human consciousness. The best way for me to explain this complex subject in simple terms is to give you an example everyone can relate to and comprehend. The example is anger. Now, we live in a world of energy, frequency, and vibration. Science has proven this fact several times, so there is no point in arguing this fact. Anger is a state of consciousness that vibrates within the 3D mindset frequency of 150. When we get angry, it doesn't feel good to most people. If it does feel good, then that person aligns with the following traits, behaviors, and mindset. That person will be impatient, dislike of others, defensive, bitchy, spiteful, bitter, cruel to animals and people, self-destructive behaviors, vengefulness, loathing, hostility, injustice collector, thoughts of war and death, and hate. In my opinion, living within this vibrational mindset is painful. Painful because the action choices someone will take will always, and I mean always, not end well. There is that saying, what comes around goes around, because one day someone's going to mirror back to the individual exactly the same vibrational frequencies listed above that align with anger. It will be repeated until that person finally learns the lessons within those painful choices and actions. So here is my life example. Paul gets mad at his coworker named Tammy. The coworker is a two-faced gossip and smeared Paul behind his back. Some would say that Paul has every right to be upset and mad, but let me display the split to show you the people we choose to have in our circle of trust and friendship. Paul goes to talk to another coworker named Carol, who aligns with the traits of 4D human consciousness. This person is courageous and has a healthy sense of self-esteem and confidence. They are optimistic, grounded, balanced, down-to-earth, patient, compassionate, and know the value of letting the little things go. When Paul talks to Carol about Tammy, Carol listens. Carol stays grounded, balanced, and centered. The conversation does not trigger a negative emotional response within her. After Carol listens, she advises Paul to calm down. I know. Some people hate it when we tell them to calm down. We have all seen the memes of a husband telling his wife to calm down and ... He ends up in the hospital or she's in jail, whatever. Yet there are logical reasons behind those two little words. Calm down. They are not suggesting you should calm down because they think you're stupid or incapable. Their warning comes from their own life experiences, logic, and love. The person telling you to calm down knows exactly what will happen if you do not calm down. When we do not calm down, we can drop down into more destructive thought patterns and behaviors, digging a hole so deep that we can hurt, harm, and sabotage ourselves. We all know this truth. So when someone tells you to calm down, we need to not take it personally. The best approach would be to validate how they are thinking and feeling. You can say, yes, Paul, I get it. What Tammy did would make anyone angry. I can see you are in a lot of pain, and I desire for you to feel better. I believe that is why you came to talk to me. So we can sit with this pain as long as you like, and when you're ready, we can explore this unpleasant event further. So Carol is refusing to get stuck in Paul's drama. Carol will be supportive when Paul has calmed down and is ready to listen to her logic. Therefore, the first step out of this 3D destructive mindset will be to align with the thought patterns, actions, and mindset of courage. Courage aligns with the frequency of 200. Within this range are the following traits: supportive, curiosity, healthy pride, self-confidence, security within yourself and the world around you, liberation, flexibility, determined, focused, creative thoughts and solutions, goal-oriented, open to learning new things, seen as a hero or warrior, overcome obstacles, productive, and everyone is included. Can you see the difference between 150 and 200? One is coming from a place of force. I'm going to force you to do this. I'm going to punish you. And the other one comes from a place of self-empowerment. Now let's say Paul goes and talks to Tom for moral support. Tom is a prideful, cold, self-righteous scorekeeper. He doesn't like Carol and dislikes most people. Tom has unresolved emotional baggage and does not believe in self-help books or advice. When Paul talks to Tom about Carol, Tom gets triggered and fired up. He becomes reactive. Tom encourages Paul to seek revenge as if Tom is throwing gasoline onto the fire that is burning inside of Paul. Now, if Paul reacts in the heat of the moment, he will sabotage himself. Period. It could backfire and make Paul appear childish and immature. This could drop Paul down into regret, guilt, depression, addictive behaviors, and or shame. Can you see the difference between Carol and Tom? One is reactive and one responds. One has open wounds and unresolved emotional baggage, and the other does not. Tom forms trauma bonding relationships, and Carol does not. Carol wants to end Paul's emotional suffering, and Tom unconsciously wants to create more drama, pain, and suffering. Why? Tom refuses to go within himself to discover why. Why is he such an angry person? He has not learned the value and lessons within the 4D framework mindset. His prideful ego is fragile, and that explains why he is so defensive and reactive. Carol has learned how to let go her ego and let her ego take a back seat. Carol is determined to feel good, and she has learned to silence or soften the negative ego's voice. Therefore, when someone tells you to calm down in the heat of the moment, they are doing it because they genuinely care about you. Period. They do not like to see you suffering. That is why they say suffering is a choice. That is why mindfulness and self-awareness tools and techniques are essential. It is designed to spare your sanity so you can avoid feeling and looking insane. Period. So if I were in Carol's shoes and being a human consciousness guide, I would support Paul in discovering the lessons Tammy is trying to teach him. Yes, I said lessons. Remember, Tammy is Paul's mirror. So let's unpack it. How Tammy is Paul's mirror is Paul is also a two-faced gossip. Paul has smeared Tammy behind her back several times. He has not faced the consequences of his words and actions. So if I was in Carol's shoes, I would say this to Paul once he calmed down. Paul, I know you have a good heart, and you have been trying to become a better person. I admire that trait inside of you. I think the lesson Tammy is trying to teach you is that when we, not you, gossip behind a person's back and smear them, it does not feel good. It hurts. Not just you, but them. I know you have been doing the same thing to Tammy. She doesn't like it, and she is seeking revenge. Taking the high road is not easy. Turning the other cheek is not easy either. When we stand in our own worth and knowing, Tammy cannot destroy you or trigger you any longer. You realize that these childish behaviors and actions only create more heartache and drama. I believe in you, Paul. I would like to suggest a truce, that you become the bigger man and have a heart-to-heart conversation with Tammy in private. If you need moral support, I can be there. Therefore, if I were in your shoes, I would apologize. I know, not what you want to hear, but there is logic behind my statement. Saying you are sorry takes courage. If you desire peace, one of you will have to align with courage. Therefore, make a promise to no longer gossip about each other. And if there is ever an issue in the future, you both connect and problem solve. Form a mutual agreement and make peace. If she refuses, so be it. Let it go. It's her loss, not yours. So, I hope this example helps. When we take the high road, we accept responsibility for our actions or lack of action. We take responsibility for our behaviors and choice of words. When we do not, we are stuck in immaturity. That is why people tell us to grow up. They want us to take the high road and not get off the low road. They want us to. Adulting is not easy. Mastering and learning the lessons within the 4D framework does take courage. It's not easy to say we are sorry, to ask for forgiveness, or to give ourselves forgiveness. Then there's acceptance. How many of us accept ourselves and our bodies? The things we can say to ourselves can be so damaging and destructive. Yet we would never say those things to someone we care about or love. We would show them compassion, forgiveness, and grace. So when you are facing a crisis or find yourself in the tornado of emotional pain and suffering, please stop. Go within. All the answers and tools exist within us. Take the high road and give yourself a little grace. We are perfectly imperfect. Thank you for watching and listening, and love and light, Carrie Logan. Bye.